Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so took care of the suit, got it in hand, walking back, and didn't take any time at all. I got there at 7 on the dot, exactly 7 o'clock. I left here at 5:45, so I told them I'd be there in an hour and 15 minutes. I got there in an hour and 15 minutes. That's my thing. It's like, I don't like telling people that I'm gonna be there in 20 minutes when it's gonna be an hour. I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be an hour, and then I'm gonna get there an hour later. Like, that's how I move. And you know, my body clock is really good, and so I try to be on time for most things. But in situations like this, it's like, man, I can't afford to be not picking up the suit because obviously we leave out on this side of town tomorrow for Fresno. We don't need to be doubling back to Hollywood. Hell no. So he got off at 7:30. He told me 8 o'clock was the latest he was waiting, I guess. And I'm like, bro, ain't gonna take that long to get there. I said I'm gonna be there now in 15 minutes. That's exactly how long it's gonna take. And I'll be there at 7 o'clock. So I don't know if he thought I was gonna be on CP time or whatever type of thing he was thinking. But when I walked through that door, he was almost shocked. I'm like, bro, man, I don't move like that. I tell people exactly when I think my ETA is gonna be. And if I'm gonna be late, you're gonna get another call saying it's gonna be a little further out. But realistic ETAs at all times, man. That's how I move. Because it frustrates me to no end when people don't have consideration in that regard. They tell you they're gonna be there in 30 minutes and they'll be there 2 hours later. I hate that. And so I don't do that to other people. But yeah, man, that's really what it is. I got in there, got out quick. I also went to Trader Joe's, got myself my favorite pasta dish, lemon pasta dish, which works well with my stomach the last couple times I had it, and some type of salad that didn't have any cheese or any cream to it. So God willing, everything will go smooth with that. That'll be the meal, because I don't really want to wait until 9 p.m. to cook nothing like that tonight. Got to be done quickly so that I can get the rest necessary to get up early, because that's exactly what it's going to be. Getting up early tomorrow for my standards, probably about 7, which ain't early for you, but it's early for me. And my body ain't used to that no more. So that's what it is, man. Just gonna do what I gotta do, you know, and hope for the best. You know, obviously a lot of things outside of our control. I'm gonna drive up there, drive back. I saw a good look at the hotel we're gonna be staying in. It's a nice one. It's a really nice hotel. I'm used to staying in motels and considering those nice, but this is gonna be a rather swanky looking spot that my uncle reserved, and the prices are the same amount that I spend on the little motels that I go to. Like $113 a night or something. I'm like, my God, man. But that's what happens when you're not in the LA market. Things are much more affordable. You know what I mean? So that's really what's going on there. And a hotel like that around here probably like $300, $400. In Hollywood, like $400. It's craziness. But I was on the move, man. I wasn't playing around. I was walking. I was mobbing. That's what you call that. In the West Coast, we don't call that walking. It's power walking. It's mobbing. Trying to get somewhere at a certain time. People looking at you like you crazy, but I'm on time. That's all. That's how I move. If I have somewhere to be, my intention is to be there exactly when I say I'm going to be there. Especially if it's a situation where you could potentially leave if I'm a minute late. I ain't gonna be. If I have any control over it. Obviously, the train had a lot to do with that. But I was able to catch the train that came on time, and that was most important. The things that are outside of my control didn't hold me up. So, yeah, man, I was able to get that thing and get out of there. And that's what it's all about. So, yeah, man, now I can say I have it, and, you know, get home safely now. Get in the house, shower again. I just showered, but obviously with all this walking in the street, you don't want to shower again. And then eat my meal, man, and do my crunch regimen and go to sleep, man. I'm pretty basic. I did my 100th workout before the Laker game. I was able to accomplish my Laker game goals. You know, I left a video there for the reaction and another video further walking down the street on the reaction. And you know, I thank God that I was able to do it. I watched every second of the game, got what I needed, and now on the route home with it. So So far, so good. Now we go take care of business in Fresno tomorrow morning. Uncle said he'd come over around 10:30, and we'll see. We'll see if it works out that way, because he's gonna have to take into account traffic. Even though traffic in Sunday morning, it doesn't really exist in LA. That's the best time to drive. It's probably around that hour. You may run into some traffic, but nothing crazy. So hopefully now we try to get up to Fresno, but it doesn't really matter so long as we just get there sometime tomorrow, and we can get there, settle in, and then get some rest. That's really what it's about. I don't know if my uncle's gonna want to do festivities with folks or not. Probably want to visit some of his family or whatever. I don't know what the pulse of the situation will be. Will I be tagging along for everything? Will I be doing my own thing to the funeral? I just really don't have any understanding yet of what my family's going to want to do there. But I'm open-minded to being a part of everything, at least till 7:30 on Monday night. then I want to do my own thing. That game starts, and I'm going to want to be able to meet my goals for that game too. So, that's what it's about, man. I'm representing for my uncle and my grandfather, and myself. Think about the pictures we're going to take and how they're going to stand forever in the suit and everything at Grandpa's funeral. So these are big moments that you want to get right with the family and have the right energy. And I've been meditating a lot, more than I have in years, really, over the last 4 or 5 days, more than I have in years. I think I prayed this much when I was going through my struggle last year or something, but that would be the only time I would compare it, since basically I lived in the Wilshire district, because I don't find myself meditating as much. Once I got to Inglewood, I was doing a lot of stuff, working back and forth, and the time I wasn't working, in my little depression and dabbling in weed all the time, I just wasn't very serious. I was believing in God, but it took falling to my knees, so to speak, to really trust Him and take Him seriously again. And I think that maturity has been fruitful for my relationship with God. Some of that Inglewood stuff kind of pulled me away from Him. Some of what was going on there was more so about me doing what I want to do, consequences be damned, and going against what felt right and all of that type of stuff, not being obedient, ignoring that voice inside sometimes here and there. A lot of sin and type energy. It really didn't yield any positive results, of course. So this is a different era. I'm much more mature at this point. I'm older, fighting father time. I don't have time to play, so I want to get things right the first time. That's really what it's about. And that's kind of been my mentality since my grandfather passed away. That's kind of been the mentality. It's like almost like a shift. When he passed, it was like I'm no longer playing with certain things. Some stuff was just like I'm not really tolerant as much. I just feel like I'm running out of time, or that I should cherish time more regardless. That's kind of what the energy's been. I just cherish time more and be more punctual, be more sharp, that type of thing. And that's really what it's all about for me. Kind of cool, huh? That's pretty cool. But yeah, man. So I tell you, going through the grocery store tonight trying to find something to eat. Everything got cheese in it or cream in it, ranch, something, cream, milk, something. I mean, when I started really digging in, if you want to try to avoid dairy, you got very few options. Very few options. Everything got cheese in it. Everything has milk in it. Everything is used egg in it, like everything. For us people who are lactose intolerant, like severely lactose intolerant, like I am, you can't eat nothing. They don't cater the food to you, and it makes you wonder. If they're not compromising dairy entirely, since it's impossible for Americans to avoid it. And you think about, I was talking about this with my uncle, like my stomach and issues have deteriorated over time. Is that normal for a person to grow older and then all of a sudden can't eat stuff that they grew up eating? When I was a child, I drank milk regularly. I ate eggs all through my 20s, But as I continued to do so, I became allergic to it. And all of a sudden I'm just allergic to everything now. I can't eat nothing at 40 years old. What the hell happened? Are they putting something in this stuff? It's making us sick. And then when you look at how easy it is to find it, even when you're not looking for it, if you're not trying to vet through certain ingredients, you're going to find out it's always in everything you eat. Always in everything you eat. And it just makes you wonder. You know, I've become more aware of the different things that they put in American ingredients, the chemicals that they put in our food, versus the fact that they're chemicals that they won't allow in other in other places. Hey friend, what's up? In other places like Europe and Indonesia and stuff like that, they ban some of these chemicals, these dyes that we put in our food. They don't put them in their food. And it ain't nothing to them chemicals. Some of those chemicals are made to, you know, formaldehyde and stuff like that. Like, why are they putting this crap in our food? They're killing Americans on purpose and right in front of you. And they're not doing that to other people in other countries. There's nothing good about any of those ingredients. With these big names, long flail, and all this stuff. This stuff ain't nothing good for you. But they're putting it in everything you eat. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 30, 40 chemicals. And then you get those same foods in Europe and you don't find no chemicals. What the hell are those chemicals doing there? And why is that exclusive for Americans? Why are they putting stuff in our food that they wouldn't put in nobody else's? Well, the answer is probably because they're killing you. They got you on a timer, friend, and this is how they get your ass out of here. If I'm being completely honest with you. They want you to work, contribute, and get out of the way so they can funnel new bodies in to do the same thing. Contribute, take on the propaganda, vote how they want you to vote, pay into what they want you to pay into, and then die. Rather timely so that we can continue that cycle. I'm telling you to use people, man, in a way that I don't think we're quite awake to. This country has an agenda, and people are just a tool within it. We ain't the focus. We are a tool that makes them money. And anytime we try to raise our voice for anything, they will gaslight us and or humor us as much as it makes sense for them to do so to keep us in line. They don't care what have you. And so if you can rise yourself to the top of capitalism, maybe you can afford to keep yourself alive. Otherwise, you're on a timer and they're going to feed you poison and that's it. Like, that's what I've come to understand. And so as I look up and realize I got all these stomach issues and all these problems, I can't even eat any simple foods. I come to believe that some of those chemicals that I was putting in my body when I was overindulging on most of those foods were probably deteriorating my body the way they're supposed to, just at an expedited rate. Because I was overindulging. That's what I think happened. I was a dude that ate all the red vines. What type of chemicals were in those red vines and how are they affecting me today? I was a guy that always went to Taco Bell and needed to get 4 hard-shell tacos and a burrito supreme with extra, like, everything. Like, every 3 days I'm going to this place getting the same thing. Whisking down all the sodas that I could possibly have. Like, I let them kill the hell out of me early on. So that's probably why I'm struggling with my diet right now. It's because that was how it goes. They kill you off. Cancer is so random. No, it's not. It's calculated. They're putting that stuff in our body. They put it in things that we have to breathe. You know what I'm saying? They're putting it there. And so that's my attitude. I'm convinced most of these chemicals ain't in there to do nothing but slow burn us. If you ever seen a movie where a woman feeds a person Clorox into their medication, they get, they stay sick. Because a lady will put, like, in whatever movie you're watching, chemicals in their oatmeal or something like that. Small amounts. Not enough to kill them right away, but to make them slowly sick and make them think that they're deathly ill when really she just keeps on giving them that. That's what they're doing to us. That is exactly what I think is happening there. Small doses of killing chemicals that don't take you out right away, but definitely put you on a timer. That's what I think most of the chemicals in our food is actually meant to do. And boy, will it be an interesting case when it's proven. When that is finally proven, if that's what's going on, it will be mighty interesting to see who goes to jail for murder or genocide, or however that would be equated. That's why I think it's just important people wake up, man. Like I said many times, when you look at the genocide and realize it's the people that power this country that are terrorizing these people, bombing the hell out of hospitals. Another hospital was bombed tonight, I think in Beirut, and bombed another hospital or something like that. When you start realizing it's the same people that are feeding you these damn chemicals that are killing these people in these weird, sadistic ass ways, then you understand how little to trust them with your own life. You wouldn't trust Freddy Krueger to walk you across the street, would you? What the hell are you trusting these idiots for? That's the reality of what it is I've come to learn. So that is exactly what's going on there. A bunch of sadistic, murdering ass bastards running the whole damn country, and we keep paying into their stuff, doing their dance for them. And as they continue to kill, they continue to get wealthier, more powerful, and it's by the grace of God that some of us are aware of it and raise awareness to that understanding. Otherwise, we're all just sitting here taking on their chemicals, doing their little jig for them, and dying the way they want us to, after paying as much taxes as necessary to keep them as wealthy and powerful as they want. And docile enough to never question whether or not we should allow them to do it. That dance, it's time for that dance to come to an end. It's time for that stupor to be woken up from. It's time for the people who can't wake themselves up from that stupor. It's time for them to be forcefully woken up. That's what needs to happen there. And the rest of them, they ain't gonna make it. That's the truth, man. It's not designed for you to make it. So that's pretty much what I gotta say, man. It's bleak. I'm thankful that my grandfather had 96 years of life. He was able to survive that somehow. And if only I could be so lucky myself. But it's how it goes, man. Just gotta try to stay upwards, upright. Farm yourself if you can. Raise your kids to understand what needs to be understood. You know, I think I want to be careful not to be completely and utterly ignorant, because ignorance does not help anyone, and I just simply don't know the importance of this statement. I'm going to say this. They really want us focused on technology, electro-technology, and I think that there's a language that needs to be understood by most of the people coming into the earth right now. We need to know this stuff. We need to be able to grow with this stuff. We need our kids to be very, very technologically intelligent. For this, I have no doubt. But I think just as intentional as we should be on making sure our kids are fluent in those languages, should we be intentional on making sure they're fluent in the languages that allow for them to survive in a world where none of that exists. Farming. You know, that type of thing. The practice of taking care of one's body without the presence of technology, without the presence of anything other than your mind and the contraptions you can use around you. We got to teach ourselves how to live in the dark, more or less, in the Stone Age, because at any given moment, all of this could turn off. And in the event it does, it's going to require us adapting to that rather quickly to deal with it and to find a way to survive in it. And so I think farming is so very important. Learning how to farm, knowing what can and cannot be done in regards to farming, I think is just as much as important as knowing how to use the latest technological advances. I really do. Because when the lights turn off, when the cameras go off, how do you survive? It's those who understand those things who are not only going to survive, but thrive in helping others survive who are not able. The richest people in the world becomes those who know how to handle things that way. So that's what I'm telling y'all. It's like, I don't know if it will ever be necessary in the lifetime that we have, but passing those know-hows forward to our children, I think is something that would be very, very beneficial to them, and teaching their children and their grandchildren those things in the event the lights turn off someday. The internet shorts out someday. Knowing how to keep records, paper records, certain things that we don't think we need. But we're too reliant on the lights staying on, man. And the people who control those lights are not reliable. It's the God's honest truth. The people who keep the lights on are not reliable. If I'm being completely honest with you. The technology may be reliable, but the entities who power them on, they're not. And that's what I know. That's what genocide has taught me. If we're relying on anything going right in regards to those who are willingly and committing genocide, believe me, you're going to find out that what they control is likely unstable. Now, they may be the last to find that out, but I'm telling you, people like us, we had better be thinking about that. We had better be thinking about that. The little hats, as I like to call them these days, with respect to all my good Jewish brothers who can't stand having Zionism connected to their religion, but until you vet them out of that religion, they represent you strong, friend. I hate to tell you that, but it is what it is. You got to get those bastards the hell out of your situation. You got to shun them and separate yourself as strongly as a lot of you are right now. You cannot let them continue to push forward calling themselves Jews. Because as long as they are wearing them little hats, that's exactly what we're going to call them. And I understand what a yarmulke is. I grew up understanding what a yarmulke was. I'm still calling it little hats because I don't respect the people who are wearing them as pertains to the Zionists who pretend to be Jews. So when I'm talking about them, I'm talking about the Z's, the Zionists, not necessarily good Jewish brothers and sisters. But until then, I'm calling them little hats. They're not to be trusted. Nothing they hold on to is blessed or sacred. Anything they control could potentially erupt into flames at any moment based on the things that they're literally doing right now. Ain't nothing they got blessed. And if it ain't blessed, it ain't stable. It ain't reliable to stay upright. It's bound to fall one way or another. We had better learn how not to need them. We had better learn how not to need those folks. I'm just telling y'all, I'm very, very clear on what it is that should be understood as it pertains to that part of it. They are a reckless bunch, I tell you. I don't give a damn how much money they got, how much they control right now, and how much it looks like it's all under control. It's not. They're unwise for engaging in that behavior. They are unwise. And wisdom is what keeps things upright. It makes it so that you can hold on to what you got in your hand. A lack of wisdom will make sure that you part with it. A fool and his money soon part ways. Have you ever heard that statement? This is no different than that. Only a fool would engage in genocide. Just being honest with you. Only a fool would do that. I don't give a damn how intelligent they think they are, how much they've read, how much they believe in what they believe in. I don't give a damn what none of that. None of that is real. What is real is how unwise it is to annihilate an entire people and think people won't want to do horrible things to you in response to it for many, many generations to come. It's stupid, friends. It's stupid. That they believe that they should do it speaks to that lack of understanding. And I don't care how many people they got confused by that or how much people respect the money they hold. A fool and his money soon part ways. BDL 44, thank y'all for watching.